All right, Richard Rams, happy Wednesday. We're going to start off with your homework today on April 28th. All right, number 1. The number line below represents the solution to which inequality? All right, we're going to go through these. We have 7 is less than or equal to on our number line because it is shaded to the left. So in our answer choices, we have x plus 8 is greater than or equal to 15. And then we have less than or equal to 15. We do know that when we solve inequalities, we do solve them just like an equation. So we are going to use inverse operations. So if we're looking at C and D, it says x minus 8. Well, if I add 8 to each side, I will get 23. And my number line does not start at 23, it starts at 7. So we can mark out C and D. And let's go solve. So we know that right here, if I plug in a number for x, I'm going to go ahead and plug in 7. 7 will work for both of them because they are equal to. So let's plug in 8. If I have 8 plus 8, this is going to tell me that 16 is greater than or equal to 15. But is my number line going anywhere for 16? No, it is not. I can mark out A, but let's go and make sure that B is going to be my answer. So x plus 8 is less than or equal to 15. So minus 8, bring my variable down. So x is less than or equal to 15. So if I plug in 7 for x plus 8 is less than or equal to 15. So 15 is less than or equal to 15. That checks out. So let's go plug in 6. If I do 6 plus 8, I'll get 14 is less than or equal to 15. So that checks out. So yes, B will be my answer. Remember, this is also on page 67 through 70 in your math journals. All right, number 2 can be found on page 75 in your math journal. Triangle ABC is shown below. What is the measure of angle C in degrees? All right, so remember here, all angles in a triangle equal 180 degrees. So we're trying to find angle C. So I have 80 plus, but actually let me do this in order from angle ABC. So we're going to have 32 and 8/10 plus 80 plus x equals 180 degrees. This becomes 112 and 8/10 plus x equals 180 degrees. So this becomes an equation. So remember, my goal is to get the variable by itself. In order to do that, use inverse operations. Remember, we always have that positive right here. So I will subtract 112 and 8/10. And what I do to one side, I must do to the other. And remember, I have a decimal. So I will need to put the decimal behind the whole number because there's always a decimal behind the whole number. The 0 as my placeholder. I will clear something up. If you go and you put a decimal, if you think it goes right here, you're changing the value of the 180 degrees. You change that to 18. So your answer will not be correct. Please do not do that. Remember that there's always a decimal behind the whole number. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Let me change that back. We have 180 minus 112 and 8/10. These cancel out. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9, 7. Regroup. What did I do wrong here? X equals 67 and 2/10. Sorry. And there we go. There is your answer. You can also always check and add all 3 of them together to make sure that you do get 180 degrees. All right, number 3. What is the area of the figure below? Remember, this is on page 84, and also remember your steps. Step 1, identify the shape. Remember, the shape is a parallelogram. 2, write down the formula for the area of a parallelogram. Area equals base times height. 3, label dimensions and write down dimensions with variables. So our dimensions are base equals 15 centimeters, and our height is 9 5/10 centimeters. Remember, this is the hypotenuse. We do not need that. Our height is always perpendicular to the base. Here we go. Number 4. This is when we substitute our variables in for the formula. And then number 5, we solve for area. Now remember, when we multiply a whole number by a decimal, or we're multiplying decimals, we do not have to line up the decimals. We just multiply like normal. And we need to remember that we're going to be moving that decimal back in when we're done multiplying one place to the left, because we only have one right here. So we have 15 times 9. I can just do that to show you that we don't need to line up our decimals. So we have 5 times 5 is 25. That's 5, 6, 7. That's 75, 0. I'm going to erase the 5, the 2, so you won't get confused. Does that have 45? Remember 1, 9. Three. Bring that up. I'm going to add them, so I have 5. And that's 2. Four and 1. So I'm going to have 142. Bring my decimal. So that's 142 and 5/10 centimeters squared. And my answer is A. All right, good job. Okay, number 4. We're going to look for the mean in this one. And this is page 96, I want to say. Actually, it's 91. Sorry. Okay, so page 91. The first number of points in the first 5 games of the football season are listed below. What is the mean number of points? All right, so remember, in the mean, we add all our numbers up and divide by how many numbers we added to get our total. So we have 38 plus 29 plus 16 plus 42 plus 33. Okay. So I like to group my numbers. So right here, I'm going to have 17. This is 8 plus 3, which gives me 11. So 17 plus 11 is 28. So I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 12, and that gives me 15. I have 158. So 158 is my total. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I added 5 numbers. So divided by 5, that would be 3, which is 15. Subtract that, that's 0. I bring down my 8, goes 1 time. That would be 3, so I need to bring my decimal up, add a 0, bring it down, which is 30. And 6 times 5 is 30, which is 0. So my mean, which is my average, is 31 6/10. All right, the next page. All right, this one is kind of tricky, but I will show you how to do it. Jolie is opening her first checking account as a teenager. She doesn't have a job, so most of the income will be gifts from birthdays and holidays. Bank A has an $8 monthly charge. Bank B charges 1% of the balance. Which account balance below will result in Bank A being a better financial choice? Okay, so right here, if Bank B charges a 1% off the balance, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the balances by the increase of 1%. So if there's a 1%, we need to change that to a decimal. So we just move this 1, 2, which is 1/100th. So if we go through here and we multiply these by 750 times 0, you'll start seeing a pattern. And we just move those 2 places to the left, 1, 2, which is $7.50. That would be her bank fee added to her income. So that's only $7.50. So that would still be below the $8. So she's done. We want to find which would result bank A in being the better choice. So we want to stay under the $8 fee. So if we go through here, notice that we multiplied this and we moved 2 decimals to the right. We would do the same thing to 650. Which would become $6.50. 1, 2. So that one too. So $550 would still be under, because that would be $5.50 if you follow the same pattern in multiplication. So this one would become $8.50. So this one, would result in bank A still being the better choice. Okay. Number 6. Which of the following numbers are placed on a The following numbers are placed on a number line. Which of the following best represents point A? Okay. And this can be found on page 14 in your journal. Okay, so as we're looking at the number line, we're going to go look at A. We notice that A is in between -1 and -2, and it is closer to -2, so we can mark out D and we can mark out C because it's in the negatives, not the positives, but it's not past -2, so we can mark out A with an answer choice of B. All right, number 7. Which of the following sets do not represent equivalent expressions? Okay, this is your multiple representation of division. So if we remember correctly, our dividend, this is our dividend, and this is our divisor. Right here, this would be the same thing, our dividend, and that is also our divisor. This is also our dividend and our divisor. Okay, so we always know that if we had 12 over 36, remember, top dog goes in the house, we'd have 12, and then we would have 36. So these are changed, so B would be our answer because we were looking for the one that did not represent equivalent expressions. All right, here we go. Number 8. Number 8. Marsha's house is located on the coordinate plane below. Tasha's house is located 6 units from Marsha's house. Which of the following could represent the location of Tasha's house? Okay, so right here we need to look for a ordered pair that is 6 units from Marsha's house. So this one says -2, -5. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6 units from Marsha's house, which would give me -2, -5. So the answer would be D. All right, number 9. Which expression is best represented by the number line below? All right, these go with your multiplying and dividing integer rules. And it also is found on starting on page 27 to 37 in your math journal. All right, here we go. Now, we've talked about this several times. Can you have a negative number of jumps? No, you cannot. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to be 4 times. And then we counted by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8 in the negative direction. So we have -2 times 4. So our answer is A. All right, Richland Rams, y'all have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.